Hi friends, those were a couple of what we call 2-5-1 chord progressions, and today we're going to take a look at seventh chords. Some people talk about chord families as meaning kind of a substitution, like a 1 chord and a 6 chord are sort of the same, they're in the same family, but I use the word chord family differently. It's the way I've always looked at seventh chords and their extensions, 9th chords, 11 chords, 13 chords. To me, there's the major chord family, the minor chord family, and the dominant chord family. So today we're going to take a look at those, and as usual, it's easiest to see these theoretical concepts on the piano. If you haven't taken a look at my video on triads or the major scale or diatonic chords, you might want to check those out, but if you're already familiar with those ideas, we can dive right in. So without further ado, let's switch over to the piano, and then later we'll switch back to the guitar and check it out there. Okay, here's the piano keyboard in Apple's GarageBand program again. Here's C, which is right before the 2 black notes. I'm going to do a super fast review. If this goes too fast for you, again, check out my other videos on the major scale, diatonic chords, triads, interval ear training, etc. Major scale in C. In Italian, everybody knows do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, or si, do. In music theory, we turn it into numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On the piano, it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And the key of C is nice because there's no flats and sharp. Half steps are between 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. In my triads video, I showed this. And the distance from 1 to 3 we call a major third. If I flat that, that's a minor third. So the major chord is bright and happy. The minor chord is a little sadder or moodier or darker sounding. So seventh chords you may already know. You take the 1, the 3, and the 5 if we start with C major. We simply go to the next odd number, 7. Thus the name seventh chord. Now this 7 is 1/2 step from C, from the root. So this is the 7 that's in a major scale. And that's why we call this a major 7. 1, 3, 5, major 7. So I like to think of major 7 chords as pretty sounding. There was a song by Chicago many years ago. A slow tune, you get your girlfriend out on the dance floor, and very romantic sounding. The Carpenters use the major 7 chord a lot, very pretty. So what happens if I take this arrangement of my fingers on the keyboard, every other white note, and move up? Starting on D now, the second note of the C scale, the 2 chord. Well, we got a minor 7 chord. So the triad, of course, is minor, 1, flat 3, 5. And this 7 is the flat 7. If I were to play a D major scale, here would be the major 7, just a half step down from the root D. So we're going to take that down one more. Now we've got a flat 7 in the key of D, that interval. is a flat 7. 1, minor 3 or flat 3, 5. Flat 7 defines a minor 7 chord. Take it to the third degree of this scale, E. Now you're going to want to start to be able to identify these chords just by hearing it. And here's the D minor 7, the 2 chord. Here's the 7 chord that's built off the third note of a major scale. Kind of has that same, jazzy, sexy sound. So it's also a minor 7 chord. We'd go to the 4 chord. 1, 3, 5, 7 from the 4th degree of the C scale, an F note. F, A, C, E, the note names. 1, major 3, 5, major 7 again. So here's an F, half step down from F, major 7. So the 4 chord is a major 7 chord. The 5 chord, G is the 5th note of the C scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From G, G, B, D, F, the triad, 1, 3, 5, is major. But the 7 is a flat 7. Here's a G octave. So a half step down would be the major 7. I can play G major 7, the pretty one, with an F sharp. But if I play the F that's in the key of C, it's a flat 7. So the 5 chord is extremely important in regular music, diatonic music, which is 90% of pop songs, because it's the only chord in the diatonic series with a major 3rd but a flat 7. We call this the dominant 7 chord. And the 6 chord, okay, the triad from the 6th degree of the scale, which is A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is minor, and it's got a flat 7. Minor 7 chord, just like the 2 chord and the 3 chord. So far we've got major 7, C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G dominant 7, A minor 7. If you remember from watching the triads video, the chord that's built off the 7th degree of the scale, the 7 chord, is diminished. Not too often used, but sometimes. So we've got a minor 3rd on the bottom and another minor 3rd. On the top of it, a stack of minor 3rds. So diminished chords have minor 3rd and a flat 5. This would be a regular 5th in the key of B. So here's a B minor chord. If I add the 7, that's a minor 7 chord. But the F sharp's not in the key of C. I have to bring it down to an F. Minor 7 flat 5, or we can call half diminished 7. And we're back to the tonic. Just to review the 7th chords in the diatonic series. The 1 chord is major 7. The 2 chord, minor 7. 3 chord, also minor 7. 4 chord, major 7, like the 1 chord. The 5 chord is distinct. There's only one of them, a dominant 7 chord. The 6th chord is minor 7, like the 2 and 3 chord. The 7 chord, minor 7 flat 5, or half diminished 7.